What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Practice the Podcast, where we fuse research and culture to help you develop the mindsets, the habits, the skills that allow you to live out your purpose with confidence. I'm your coach, Dr. Rees, and it's time for us to get better, y'all. Let's grow. Now, today in practice, we talking about discipline. Yes, we're talking about discipline. Why? Because in order for us to grow, we got to be disciplined. And I'll be honest, discipline sucks. I'm not always a fan of, I'm a fan of discipline. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm a fan of discipline because I understand that being disciplined is going to help me bear the fruit that I want to see in my life, but I don't always like being disciplined. And I've said this before and I'll say it again, is be disciplined or be disciplined. Now, what I mean by that is either you're going to say, here are the things that I need to do in order to discipline myself, or you will get disciplined by your lack of discipline. And that's really what it comes down to. Either you can say, I'm going to be grown and mature and intentional and focused about it, and I'm going to do what I need to do to discipline myself, or I'm going to be disciplined and disappointed by my lack of discipline that I was able to give to myself. And I'm in a season of my life where I am honing in on my discipline. And the reason why I'm staying focused on honing in on my discipline is because I want to level up. I want more. I want to do more. I want to bear more. I want my foundation of what I've done for the last 35 years of my life to bear fruit for the next. You know what I'm saying? Like I want my intention and my focus and my energy to create a life that I want to keep living. And I'm about to be 35 next week. I'm 10 days away as of right now of being 35. And when I think about that, I think about a lot. I think a lot about being 40 and 50. Those have been the two ages that have popped up in my mind heavily over the last couple months. Is I'm 5 years from 40 and I'm 15 years from 50. Mind blower. But in that though, I am the most cool, calm, and collected I feel like I've ever been. And I am very clear on what I want in my life. And I'm very, not even just clear, I'm clear and I'm being that much more intentional. I'm content. And when I say I'm content, again, I don't mean I'm settling for less. I'm really in a season of settling for more. And the only way that I'm able to get that more is if I'm disciplined. And so I am settling in to being 35 in a way that says, okay, let's cement this foundation that if I'm blessed to live another 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now, that 65-year-old me can look back and be like, good job. Like, I want 65-year-old me to be like, you did that. I don't want to look up at 40 and be like, oh, man, I sure wish I was disciplined when I was 35. I don't want to look at myself at 50 and be like, man, why did I not get it together then? Like, I don't want my future self to be pissed at my current self because my current self didn't want to be disciplined enough to get the job done. That's really what is pushing me now, is I understand that if God blesses me to continue to live for however long, I want to make sure I'm taking care of the entire package. I want to make sure that the life that I'm going to continue to live is going to be one that feels good in every way, shape, or form. And so for me at 40 to be walking around being like, hey, I'm 40 fine, you know what I'm saying? And then when I hit 50, I'm 50 fine. And then I'm 65 and all these, as I age, I want to get better. I want to age like fine wine. I want to just keep glowing up. Somebody told me a couple months ago, they see me for the first time in a long time. And they were like, oh, you aged well. I said, thank you. I appreciate that. And I hadn't seen them probably since, I don't know, high school. They were like, you showed it age well. And, and that feels good. But this ain't it. Like, I firmly believe wherever you're at, that the height of your life is not right now, that the best is yet to come. But in order for that best to continue to come, we have to do our best right now in this season. So for me, that means I have to knuckle down and get back focused and get back disciplined. And some people will say, oh man, Reese, you're one of the most disciplined people I know. Cool, I love that, but it's not good enough yet. Like I want to keep getting better. Like I want to keep being more disciplined. So disciplined that I don't want to say, I don't want to be so disciplined that it sucks the fun out of life. But I want to be so disciplined that the lifestyle that I'm focused on creating right now is just a lifestyle of discipline. Like that's it. Like I lived a disciplined lifestyle for a sustained amount of time. So here's what I want to talk to you about today. Here's what I want to coach you up on today is I want to coach you up on challenging you to embrace 92 days of discipline. Now, when you think of this, here's what I want you to think about. I don't want you to think about something that is tired and old or something that, when I say tired and old, I mean like, oh, a whole nother challenge and nobody's trying to do all that. I don't mean like that. I don't mean something that where you commit to it for 90 days. Also, let me think about like 75 hard. A lot of people hate 75 hard, or a lot of people love it, but a lot of folks will talk about like the downsides of trainings like that, because when you're out of the 75 days, you fool around and like you snap back to your old life. Or when you're in it, it's great, but it's not sustainable. So for me, with this 92-day challenge, I want it to be something that's sustainable, maintainable, scalable, that is a life that you want to live. And so it's focused on developing healthy habits in a way that you're like, I would live this life for forever. But we're going to be really intentional about the 92 days. So that way, after they're over, you just keep rolling and moving in the right direction. So the reason why this is 92 days instead of 31 days is because, did y'all know it doesn't really take 31 days to make a habit? You know how long it takes? 91. Now, what the research behind that, or the information behind that, is basically it's so funny how so much stuff, like anybody can just say anything and then it just catches traction and people are like, oh wow, yeah, this is it. It was a lie. The dude who did it. The dude who did the study that said it takes 31 days to make a habit, he did it with one, I believe it was animals like rats or something, and then like said it was humans and said it changed behavior, and then all of a sudden it went viral and everybody thought, whoa, okay, it takes 31 days to make a habit. And then people are like, I've done it for 30 days, or sorry, 21 days. That's what it was. It's 21 days. But it don't take 21 days or 31 days. It takes 91. And that's what newest research has shown, is that it takes 91 days to be able to really have a habit cement in your life. Why are we doing 92? Because we're going the extra mile. We're doing 92 because this is just going to be our lifestyle. So the mindset that I want you to adopt as you think about engaging in this challenge is, I'm really creating a lifestyle that I want to live. That's it. Like, I want the challenges to think about creating a lifestyle that you want to live that's going to add value to your whole entire life. So we're going at this from a holistic perspective that's going to add value to every single piece of us. That's going to allow us to be our best selves. So when the 92 days is over, you're not like, man, okay, well now I got to get back. No. How do I sustain this? No, that's it. You don't got to start over. If you miss a day, you just keep living and moving, and you take an assessment and reflection and you keep it pushing. So here's a mindset, the habit, and skill that you need in order to embody this challenge and create the life it is that you want to live. The mindset is discipline bears good fruit. That's the mindset. Discipline bears good fruit. And the reason why we need to have a mindset that discipline bears good fruit is because discipline does not feel good in the moment, but it is going to bear you the fruit that you're going to want to eat in the future. Period. Discipline in the moment does not feel good, but it is going to bear you the fruit that you're going to want to eat in the future. And you're going to want to eat good fruit. Literally, before I started recording this podcast, I was eating some mango and some watermelon. I was like, oh my gosh, is bomb. Like the mango, mango too could be suspect. You know, if you see a mango when this kind of looks hard and dry and white, you're like, that's not a good mango. But then you look at a mango slice that's kind of got that good brown, it's got that good curve to it, and it looks juicy. You like, I know that's about to be some good mango right there. That's what I want you to think about. So I want you to attach your discipline to some good fruit. Attach your discipline to a piece of fruit that you're like, oh my gosh, that was bomb. Better than any other piece of candy, right? Better than any other hecka like dessert that's got all the calories that make your sweet tooth go crazy and diabetes run wild. Just a piece of fruit that's like, man, that was bomb. And it just came from the earth. Well, obviously it was a seed of something, but like somebody had to put in the work in order for me to bear and eat that good fruit. And so when you're thinking about your discipline, I need you to think about your favorite type of fruit and say, I know it doesn't feel good. I know it don't feel good in the moment. But what I'm doing right here, right now, is going to bear that good fruit, that good fruit. Okay, that's the mindset I need you to have. Now, here's the habit that I need you to pick up on. The habit I need you to pick up on is enduring the difficulty of discipline. I need you to cultivate a habit of enduring the difficulty of discipline. Enduring means going through. Enduring means tough. Enduring means lasting. Enduring means I'm going to fight on. Enduring means being resilient because discipline is difficult, period. That's the whole point of it. Discipline is difficult. So I want you to cultivate the habit inside you that says, I know how difficult it is. I'm going to endure it. This morning, I was getting out of bed. My alarm goes off. And because I'm on day 2 of my 92 days of discipline. I'm on day 2 right now. By the time this comes out, I'll be a couple weeks in. And I was like, man, I don't want to get up. And that right there is okay. You are allowed to acknowledge what you don't want to do. That's fine. That doesn't make you a complainer. That doesn't make you ungrateful. That doesn't make you any of the sort. That just makes you a human who's acknowledging, like, I don't want to do this. Because if I wanted to do it, it means it's not discipline. Does that make sense? Because discipline is supposed to be difficult. So if I'm like, oh, yep, want to get out of bed, I didn't do anything that triggered the I can do hard things. I know how to do hard things, or I grew my hard things doer muscle. Right? Because we all have a muscle that needs to be developed that goes through the ability of doing hard things. And a lot of people have never developed their muscle of doing hard things. They get to the hard thing and say, ooh, I'm cool. They pull up to this, ooh, let me go ahead and take this left. Let me go ahead and hit a U-turn. Let me go ahead and dodge, right? A lot of people don't have the skill, the ability, the habit, the muscle of enduring hard things. This is why we're being intentional with saying during this season right now, I want to focus in on what, where, how, why do I want to grow in this area? And then when you get to that spot that says, "Ooh, this is difficult. I don't want to do it." You acknowledge it, but then you do it. You acknowledge the difficulty, then you do it. So when I was going to get out of bed, I don't want to get out of bed. I'm tired. I want to lay here. I want to chill. I just want to be here. But I knew that my ability to get up out of bed was going to allow me to do all the other things that I needed to get done today. It was going to allow me to have a great day and a great workout and execute all these other things. But it's also going to be, I love being an early bird. Love it. But too much of not being an early bird can make me grow into the comfort of being, I don't know, the late bird, right? Like, I don't know, opposite early bird is a late bird. And so there's been, because it's summertime, and I've had less movement, it's like, oh, well, shoot, I could sleep in. I ain't really gonna hurt nobody because I don't have a meeting, so I'm not gonna miss nothing. But I got stuff that I have to do. There's time that I have to take advantage of. I have to take advantage of this capacity, but also I want to be able to be up early, getting it done so I can, like, that's just the lifestyle that I want to live. So the habit is endure the difficulty of discipline. Now, the skill I want you to be able to develop and catch out of this is self-control. We're going to be talking about this forever, really. The skill of self-control. This is a skill that there's been times in my life I have lacked it. It was not there and I'm mad about it. And there's been times where I'm like, ooh, okay, self-control. It ebbs and flows. But when you can recognize that developing this skill is going to add immense value to your life, you're going to put some energy and effort into it. So this season for me personally is about increasing in all these areas. But this practice, I want you to shape your mind around this thing. That discipline bears good fruit. That's our mindset. The habit of enduring difficult and discipline, and the skill of self-control, right? So now I'm going to break this down for you of what this looks like, what you need to do in order to execute this challenge in a way that I think could be really beneficial for you in your life. Okay. So when I say holistic, it's important to know that holistic is multiple parts of some. Like literally it's in the name, whole. And so it's to make things whole. And as a human, we have multiple aspects to our life, to our identity, to our families, to every aspect of us is a whole bunch of different parts. And this is where and why I fight for balance to have a positive connotation, because not every single aspect and area of our life is going to be broken up. Like work-life balance, yes, is is not obtainable when you only look at them in these two pockets. Like that's never going to be something like there's never going to be a 50-50 split. But you shouldn't be looking at balance through the lens of 50-50. You should be looking at balance through the lens of being present where you're at and everything getting what it's supposed to have in order for it to thrive and for you and your life and village to thrive to the degree that it needs to. So it doesn't mean that it needs it doesn't mean it needs 100% of your time, but it needs 100% of you during that time. That's a bar. Thread that later. So when we're thinking about holistically being poured into and holistic development and holistic discipline development, we're going to break this down into 6 different areas. Because again, as humans, there are multiple parts to our identity and our life. What can suck about this is it can be overwhelming. So if you're like, Dr. Rees, I'm not 7, because it's really 7 areas. First, it's 6. I'm going to add in one more, which makes it 7. And if you're like, I can't, then focus on as many areas as you can right now until your capacity evolves. Because every part of you needs attention. Every part of your life needs to be acknowledged. And again, this is why it's important to not look at balance and growth and development through the lens of like 150 here, like 50-50, because that's not, those numbers just don't make sense. The math ain't mathing when it comes to that way. And so because we're going to break yourself down in this way and you're able to identify how much attention do I want to give to each one of these spaces, that's going to allow you again to craft a life that you want to live, and you just have to be disciplined enough to pursue it. So here are the 6 areas, and then the bonus area. As a human, we have multiple makeups: spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, relationally, and financially. Now, you could just, if you wanted to, you could put your spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical. I call those the core 4. So whenever I'm doing any like coaching and stuff like that, I always do a check-in on folks on those core 4. How are you doing spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically? Because that's kind of like, not kind of like, that is our bodily makeup, right? In that way, our temple makeup, our being makeup, right? In the next piece, from a relational, financial piece, those are things are outside of us. But it still is a part of like our personal aspect. And then the next thing that I want us to look at is from a professional stance in being able to grow in your craft. Now, again, I can see how this can sound like a lot, but I believe that these are the 7 most important areas of our life. There are times that I will, like in the professional aspect, I'll throw in intellectually. When I'm working with youth, I'll throw in academically, areas that you want to grow in, right? You could throw that in the professional and craft aspect as well. But we have to be able to grow. We have to be committed to growth. We have to be committed to pursuing growth in these areas because let's say, okay, cool, I'm growing physically, I'm going to the gym, I'm getting it in, I'm working hard, all that, I'm getting better, but then emotionally, I'm dry. Like, what does it matter if I'm super fit, but I'm dry emotionally, right? If I don't know how to articulate my emotions, if I don't know how to manage what may be coming up for me, I don't know how to verbalize what I'm going through, but I'm fit though. I could run these 5 miles like it's nothing. That's an imbalance. And that is something I think needs to be talked about more. Like, we fight so hard for there to be a balance between work-life balance, but we don't talk about the imbalances that are going on in our entire existence. More people have imbalance than they do balance because they're trying to be so gung-ho on balance doesn't exist. Well, it can exist. It just doesn't exist the traditional way that you're thinking about balance with something being divided by two. So when we look at these 7 areas of growth, how do you want to grow in these 7 areas? So my challenge to you is identify one thing, one area, one thing that you want to do. Now, I don't need you to be an overachiever right now and say, I'm going to do 3. I don't need you to do 3. In this 92 days, I need you to focus on one growth, one area, one skill, one mindset, one habit, one something that you want to be able to grow in over the next 92 days. So spiritually, that is up to you. However you identify your spirit and your soul. And a lot of people have never done spiritual and soul work. It may just be, I want to search it. Cool. 3 minutes a day. I love that for you. I really do. Because that's better than nothing. Because it doesn't matter if you're well financially, if you sell in your soul daily. Like, that's the imbalance. Like, cats be good financially, but their souls be weak. People be fit physically, but emotionally immature. Like, that is an imbalance in how we are living out life. And in order for us to live out our purpose with confidence, we can't afford to have these imbalances. You can't have a thirsty soul, but a full wallet. Because now that means you're literally like, not all money is good money. And because your soul isn't well, you're literally out here getting after all these dollars with a weak soul. You literally are emotionally immature, but you're physically fit. Like, those don't go together. That literally is creating an imbalance in your life, which is making the way that you're living your life, it's impacting it. It's making it a deficit. You're really not winning at the end of the day. You're really not living out your purpose with confidence because of what that looks like. This is why it's really important for us to be able to focus on making sure that we are paying attention to every single area of our existence and of our life. So I need you to identify one healthy habit that you want to adopt spiritually, emotionally, physically, relationally, and financially. Spiritually, for me, I just want to create 5 minutes of being in the spirit, of worship, of diving into a Proverbs, of getting to know God and Jesus again. Like, I just want to spend some time in that, getting comfy again. Emotionally, I want to be better at articulating, right? And now this is kind of 2 parts: articulating what I'm feeling in a moment, and also making sure I'm responding in a way that aligns with who I want to be as a partner, as a parent, in every way, right? I just want to make sure that I'm in tune that way. Mentally, I want to increase my focus. Discipline is literally going to increase my focus, and that is a mental skill. That's the skill I'm focusing on. Physically, I'm running my body through it. We are getting this joint in shape because I'm training for the high rocks, but also just getting my body. I've got to lose a certain amount of poundage, and I'm just making sure that I'm having fun and I'm staying physically fit as much as possible. Relationally, this one is kind of tough for me, because I'm opening myself back up to relationships and trying to stay open. Like, that is it. I'm trying to stay open. And then I'm more so in the friend zone. So like, trying to put myself out there and make new friends and community and that kind of deal is the relational piece. Financially, creating our financial foundation in a way that is more in tune in building my financial team. That's the thought process. So tax advisors, business attorneys, making sure trusts are in place, wills, like all those different life insurance and all that kind of stuff. That's next level financial life living. That's my financial piece. And then the last thing is your professional craft. It's important for you to identify what craft, what gift, what skill, what talent do I want to increase? We were all born with a foundational, everybody's talent level is different. Everybody's talent level is different. But what's not different, what else is different is your work ethic. So you may have been born at a talent level here, and it's your job to water that talent level in order for it to grow. And one of the things that I'm doing in my craft, or for my craft focus, is storytelling, speaking, writing. I just want to be very good at speaking and writing and articulating thought in a short amount of time. So that's going to result in more content, in different types of content, because I'm challenging myself to keep just getting better at my craft in that way. So those are the 6 personal, intimate areas in the 1 professional area. Academically, you could say, how do I want to grow as a student? How do I want to grow? Just as a student across the board. Or intellectually, if you're not in school, but you're saying, I want to start reading. I might want to listen to podcasts about self-development that's going to help me grow. Something to help you stay sharp intellectually, because iron sharpens iron. And if your iron ain't sharp, you're not going to be able to sharpen up nobody else's iron. Okay. So here's what I need you to do is 1, write down one healthy habit in all 6 of these or 7 of these areas. Once you have that down, I need you to identify, what does consistency look like to you? Because consistency doesn't always mean 7 days. It doesn't mean 365. It doesn't mean all 92. It just means whatever that may be, right? Like you may say, I want to learn salsa dancing, and they have salsa dance class once a week. And now you go for 12 weeks, right? Or 8 weeks. That was you being consistent and going. So it's not necessarily always showing up every single day to do that thing. So it's important for you to identify, 1, what's the healthy habit that you want to add? And then what does consistency look like for you that fits into your life? Remember, that's sustainable. We need this to be sustainable. So even if you say, okay, I want to meditate, I've also increased my meditation time. So let's say you want to meditate for 3 days out the week. Cool. And right now you're doing none, and you want to meditate for 2 minutes, 3 days out the week. Go you. And then after you've done that for a while, you're going to look back and be like, oh, I think I want to go 5. Ooh, I think I want to go every day. And you just allow yourself to evolve. Like we talked about on the last cast, is your dreams will evolve, right? And so, but you have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere. And another reason why I don't want you to pick 3 things is because, yes, we know our confidence needs challenge and it needs friction, but too much challenge and friction is going to push us away from doing the thing that we're signing up to do. And so don't be an overachiever and also a non-starter at the same time. Don't be like, oh yeah, now I'm an overachiever. It's an all or nothing. Like, no, you just do one thing consistently and then add on top of that and let that joint just stack up. And then before you know, you'll be like, oh my gosh, look at this beautiful life that I've built because I just got started. Okay. So figure out what the habit is, figure out what consistency looks like for you, and then figure out a way to track that. So I use Notion. I used to use my iPad. I used to use an Excel sheet. Like I've done everything to figure out what works for me. So now in Notion, I have all the habits and I can click. And then at the end of whatever, I'm able to see my percentages and the certain days that I've showed up, what I missed. I can add in other notes. I can share it with other people, all of that. So figure out what tracking system works for you that allows you to be able to look and say, okay, I'm going to put a check in this box here because that worked. I did do it. I didn't. You had some journal reflection so you can reflect on who you are as you're growing through this process. Why did something work? Why didn't it work? Another reason why journaling in the tracking process is important is the self-reflection. You may start doing something and not enjoy it, but you got to figure out why you did or how it made you feel. Or you might be like, yeah, this works for me. Or you might miss a day. And this isn't a start over joint. You might miss a day and be like, dang, okay, I'm gonna get back to it tomorrow. And you just get back to it tomorrow. You don't start over. Your 92 days don't start over. You just start over. You just not even start over. You just keep going. But you could also reflect, like, for me, I got back from Hawaii last week. Yes, literally less than a week ago. My sleep schedule has been off. And so I'm working hard to get back to going to bed by 10 o'clock. But my internal clock is like twisted to where I haven't been back longer than I've been gone yet. And so going to bed has been really, really hard, which is still making waking up hard. But I'm able to acknowledge that. Like, I'm intentional about the time. I'm intentional about wanting to go to sleep. And as soon as my body starts to shift, because I just ain't been tired at 10 o'clock. And if you're not tired, you're going to sit in bed, twiddle your thumbs. I don't want to be on my phone. When I go to bed, I want to knock out. So I'm able to acknowledge that. I didn't go to bed at 10. Here's why. So as you're tracking, you're also reflecting on what's happening and where you're at, because grace and sustainability. You got to give yourself grace. You got to give yourself compassion. You have to have awareness, and you have to be able to sustain what the heck it is that you're doing, right? That's the whole point of this. The last thing that you're going to do is you're going to identify an accountability partner or partners. It's up to you, however many people you rock with in your life. And if you don't, and you need me to be an accountability partner, hit me up. I got you. But you're going to share this information with them. You're going to share how you want to grow. And so you can let them know, how do you want them to hold you accountable? What does that look like? And where are some deficits? You share obviously as much as you feel comfy with. But it's important for us to share this information with other people. Reason being is because when we go through life with other people, it helps us feel connected. It helps us feel like, it increases your accountability for yourself. It helps us remember that we're not in this alone. When somebody checks in on you, it makes you feel seen and heard and loved. And so it's important to share, hey, here's what I'm going through. Here's where I want to go. Here's what I want to develop. Can you do this life with me? Cool. And that's what life is about. And when you fall off, they'll give you encouragement. When you get back on and you do your joint, they big you up. Like, that is what life is supposed to be. And so that is my challenge for you. That is my hope for you. I will continue to keep you guys posted on where I'm at with my journey. Obviously, I'll be posting stuff on TikTok and IG and all that, so follow along there. But if you are going to start this challenge, let me know. Talk to me. Let me know how I can support you at any point in time, because I believe that this has the ability to transform your entire life for the rest of your life. I believe that you developing the mindset that discipline is going to bear good fruit in my life, and by committing to that, it helps you create a healthy relationship with discipline. Having the mindset that discipline is going to bear good fruit in your life helps you have a healthy relationship with discipline. So you no longer dodge it, you embrace it, which too leads me to habits. Having the habit of enduring the difficulty of discipline is going to enrich your life. No, it's not going to feel good in the moment, but remember, it's going to bear us the good fruit that we want. And the third is the habit of self-control. It's the habit of knowing when you can and when you can't, when you should and when you shouldn't. The moment of saying, okay, cool. I'm on an 80-20 lifestyle. I can't do 100%. I've done 100% sometimes, but it never works. It always snaps back. So if I could be really good at eating at the 80-20 lifestyle, I'm going to most likely have the most healthiest life I've ever had, which I've done before historically. But whenever I try to do 90 and 20 and all this stuff and snap, it doesn't work for me. But if I can be self-controlled enough to say, I'm going to have that treat meal on Saturday and a cookie. And then I know Monday through Friday I'm on. That's how many meals? That's 50 meals to one, right? It literally outweighs itself. And so the skill of self-control is saying, I know that this day I can have a cookie. I'm not going to have 20 cookies, but I'm going to have a cookie. Because even if I had 2 cookies for 7 days, that's 14 cookies, but I'm going to have 1 to 2 cookies one day. The math just adds up, but it goes back to your self-control. Develop the mindset that discipline bears good fruit. Develop the habit of enduring the difficulty of discipline, and develop the skill of self-control. And we do this right now by embracing discipline through the 92-day challenge. And start this at any point in time in your life. After I'm done with this and focusing on these areas, I'm going to go back and I'm going to look and say, okay, cool. What are some new areas that I can grow in? Was there something that didn't work out well? Did I stumble too much here? Do I want to hone in there? Why? Because life should just be about continuous evolvement and growing. And that's it. That's the thought. You're continually getting better. It's not a stop and I'm done growing. No, it's cool. How much better can I get? Where do I want to double down? Where do I want to loosen up? And you just keep going from there. So that's my hope for you, is that you are able to pick up the challenge. You're able to rock out with it. Please let me know how this has added value to your life. If you feel like there's somebody else in your life that needs this game, send this to them, share it with them, so that way we can all grow together as a community and as a village, so that way we can all live out our purpose with confidence and be our most disciplined selves. And I'll say this last piece: discipline increases freedom. Discipline increases freedom. So don't look at discipline through the lens of, oh, if I'm disciplined, I have less freedom. When in actuality, when you're disciplined, you end up getting more freedom and healthier freedom than what you would have had you had not been disciplined. So don't look at the 92 days through the lens of, I'm having so much taken away from me. No, you're actually embracing that much more and expanding your life and expanding your comfort zone. So that's it. That's all I got for you today in practice. I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me. Until next time, thank you for showing up. Share this with somebody that you know. I love y'all. Peace.